UFC 264, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, the trilogy. Winner gets a UFC lightweight title shot. Next, I am joined by two brothers here. Myles from Fight Night Chat in the top left of the screen. Puddi from MMA Casual Court at the bottom of the screen. How you man doing?
Good, I've missed you guys now. I can't lie to you.
It's been a minute, innit? It's been what, like
been a
2-3
bit of a
weeks?
minute. Yeah, it's been a bit of
we've
a
been
minute, but
lacking
we're back
still.
now. Yeah, we've been slacking. I can't even lie to
We've
you.
been slacking because we ain't been doing anything. But there's been a couple fights on. We just been slacking a bit.
What have you guys made of the past few weeks' fights? I know they've not been the most high profile of fights. Obviously, there was the Cage Warriors one, and then there was UFC as well, which I don't remember. So I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how dead it's been, isn't it?
The only thing that, there's only been two things that have gotten me interested recently. One, Kennedy Nzechukwu, his comeback. So I can't remember who he was fighting, but he was getting battered, and then he was
he's
able
a
to
weird
sort of rally
fighter.
back. And bro, he's very strange because he takes so much damage, but he just refuses to give up. So he's like a zombie. He's changed into a Nigerian zombie.
Literally.
He just keeps on coming forward to the point where it's like one of these is gonna end up landing on you.
Because that's how it was in his fight before that, isn't it? Like there's the exact same thing when he was fighting that Australian guy. The guy was getting battered. I'm thinking he's gonna get knocked out. Then he comes back with the slowest punches, but somehow they work. It's
so
weird.
So
slow, bro. I don't know how he does it.
Do you know what he's like? Yeah, he's like, imagine a guy is walking up to you with a baseball bat and he just keeps swinging it like that, and you're like, you know what I mean? You're like, what? And then he happens to catch it. That's literally him.
Mad.
And then obviously, all of this stuff with Cyril Gane and David Lewis getting an interim title belt. That's kind of rubbed me up the wrong way as well this week.
Yeah, I think you should do a video on that.
Yep.
Oh, I'm planning to do one about that because that's kind of annoyed me.
But he looked good in his fight as well. I think me and Myles are going to shout out Ian Gary before we begin. That was a bloody good fight.
It's good, man.
The way them two were talking, Myles did it in his reaction video as well. All friendly. It's like hi, but it's full on bangs, in it.
It's weird, isn't it?
They weren't holding back. It's all friendly, but you know what? Eat that. But it was a good fight, man. The Cage Warriors card actually was pretty. All three of them actually were pretty decent. Yeah, I know a lot of people probably would have known some of the fighters, but it was a solid trilogy, across 3 days, innit? I want to shout out one person, innit? Dominic Wooding. But I got a bit lazy, innit? No, one thing I liked about him, is he done a fight camp video. He reached 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know why, because that, if you're on Cage Warriors and not a lot of people know you, that's one way. That's one way for people to know you. You're showing your training videos, showing yourself getting to training, you're talking the struggles and whatnot. So I liked it. But anyway, business at hand this Saturday, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. We're going to start off main card, right at the beginning. Unfortunately, Sean O'Malley's got another last minute opponent, and I don't plan on spending too much time on this because I think it's the sugar show again, innit? Unless you don't want to disagree with me. No disrespect to Kris Moutinho. I just don't think Sean O'Malley is the guy that you step into on 10 days notice. I don't think O'Malley's that guy. You got a game plan for O'Malley kind of thing because of his distance, the range, his striking. But again, credit to O'Malley for taking the fight because people tend to forget about the person taking the last minute fight, accepting the last minute fight.
True.
He's got everything to lose, whereas Kris Moutinho's just got to go in there and, hope for the best. And if he does, he's a star immediately. Puddi, what are you saying?
I went and was like, because this is one thing I like about paying for my UFC Fight Pass subscription. I can actually, sometimes it's good. You can go and find. So I went and found Kris Moutinho's last fight against Salas, Moutinho's going to get smoked. I think he's going to get smoked. What was it? Okay, so one thing that Moutinho has that was okay is that Moutinho, he likes a leg kick. And, if you are one of these people that leans into the old idea that O'Malley has weak legs, then it's like, okay, cool. Moutinho has a leg kick that he can bring in there. But generally, defensively, Moutinho did not look strong at all. Now, I don't know about the guy that he was fighting, Salah. So maybe he just didn't respect his power. But Moutinho was flat-footed. He was basically throwing and leaving himself to get countered just 24/7. And he was getting countered. The guy, Salas, just wasn't doing much to him. I think Sean O'Malley, on the other hand, he's going to be able to take advantage of that. I think he's going to sleep him in the first round. Maybe Moutinho gets another UFC fight as a thank you for stepping in early, but I don't see Moutinho getting out the first round.
Myles?
I hear that. That was smart of you to check Fight Pass for that, because I've got a Fight Pass, but I didn't think to check it, so I couldn't find any. I couldn't find that fight, so I'm kicking myself now. But I did find a couple of other fights with him, and he looks like he's kind of decent on the ground. He looks like he likes top control and stuff. So maybe if he can get on top of O'Malley, he can be all right, because he seems like he's all right there. He does have some jiu-jitsu and some ground and pound, but when he's on the bottom, you're looking a little bit weak. And like you said, defensively on the stand-up, not feeling it, and it's hard to get close to O'Malley. So I'm agreeing with you, man, and I think man's gonna get smoked.
I like the fact that you brought up his ground game, because another thing that people underestimate O'Malley for is his ground game.
Yeah,
and Puddi, you brought up the kicks as well. Thomas Almeida thought that would have been a good game plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And sorry, Myles, just to quickly add on to what you were saying about the ground and pound. One thing Moutinho did do in his last fight, when he did get Salas down, he rained down some elbows and he sliced him open. Yeah, he sliced him open. I can't even lie to you, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening against O'Malley. This is regional scene fight. Cage Fury, that's regional. That's basically regional scene. It's not, you know what I mean. So it's a bit of a jump. Yeah, it's a bit of a jump.
All right, moving on. Women's bantamweight, Irene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya. Myles, what were you saying? I know, it's not. I think so. There's some fights on the prelims that are better than some on the main card,
Yeah, I think the fight that we're going to talk about from the prelims, I think that should be a main card kickoff, personally.
Yeah. But go on, Myles.
I mean, again, this is another one where I've been thinking to make a video about this for a while, just on the state of the women's divisions right now, because it's just in the UFC, it's just a bit. And okay, so here's the thing, right? You see with Yana, right? It is very difficult for me to get interested in her fights, because the first time I ever saw her fight was her UFC debut against Cyborg, where she got her head removed in the first round. Yep. So when you start your UFC career getting decapitated like that, it's hard for me to be interested in your subsequent fight. It's very difficult for me. And as far as Aldana goes, like I was very what's the word? Like, I was looking forward to how her career was going to go, because I think did she knock out Caitlin Vieira or something like that?
Yeah,
that was it. That nice left hook. So I was thinking, I was thinking, yeah, she's going to be good. And then I saw her last fight with Holly Holm, and I was so now it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know.
With Irene Aldana, I think it's, the fight is that you think she can beat, she will beat. The ones that you look at might give her trouble, give her trouble, innit? And I think it's just that. But that Caitlin Vieira knockout was brutal, man. That lives in my head rent-free all the time. This is why I can't look at Caitlin Vieira the same after that one. I don't know why. I just can't. But for me personally, I think Yana Kunitskaya does the exact same thing Holly Holm did. I know a lot of people will probably be picking Irene Aldana, but for some reason, I'm leaning towards Yana. Because of her Taekwondo background, Muay Thai background, I think she can keep it on the feet. If she gets taken to the ground and she's on bottom against Irene Aldana, she's not getting up, so she's going to lose rounds.
Yeah.
But if she stays on the feet, I think she play that little Caitlin Chukagian, tag kind of game, and then mix up. She's not Holly Holm, but mix it up a bit with the wrestling, take her down, clinch.
Yeah, she's good on top, to be fair.
Very good on top. She's got good knees as well. And you look at her last fight, when she fought Caitlin Vieira, even though Caitlin had control, she was hammering her from on top. Caitlin had her in a back mount. She had her back, sorry. And she was still throwing back hammer fists and whatnot, little strikes here and there, defending well. And Irene Aldana, unless she knocks her out, a part of me thinks she might knock her out, because I keep playing that Caitlin Vieira knockout in my head. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
So I went and rewatched the Kunitskaya Vieira fight.
Yeah.
Firstly, by the way, I'm just gonna throw out that I think Vieira was robbed. I think Vieira won that fight.
I thought that as well.
I think Vieira won that fight. But if just putting that to the side for a second, this is where I see Aldana potentially having problems. So in the Aldana fight versus Holm, one thing that Holm kept doing is Holm was throwing punches and bunches and pushing her back, and Aldana kept looking for a one shot She kept trying to throw one punch out there. And she did catch Holm a few times on the counter and stuff like that. But generally, Holm was just pressuring her and pushing her back. She didn't seem like she had the answer for that. Now, when I was watching the Kunitskaya fight versus Vieira, and then in the first round, Vieira got Kunitskaya down and basically dominated her. In between the rounds, obviously her coaches has told Kunitskaya that you've lost that round. Pressure now. And the way Kunitskaya approached that second round, the way she pressured it, kind of reminded me of how Holm basically pressured Aldana throughout the fight. So that was a very good version of Holm, by the way. So whether Kunitskaya can pressure Aldana to the same level, not so sure. But the way she was putting a combination together and then she was able to mix in the takedowns, I feel like, once again, that could be a problem for Aldana. Aldana needs to get more busy, I think. Trying to just fling one shot out there, trying to look for the perfect punch, it's not the best idea when someone's coming back to you like 5-6 punch combinations. We'll see, but I do think that Kunitskaya can pull off an upset. I do think. I don't know if he's actually favourite, so I don't even know if it is an upset. But
I don't know who the favourite is, but I'm leaning Yana Kunitskaya personally.
It's a good break.
And you look at you mentioned Cyborg, Myles. Yeah, you look at her 2 losses in the UFC. Cyborg, okay, no problem. And Aspen Ladd, I think it was in the 3rd round. Aspen Ladd just came out hella quick, left hook, bang, dropped her, and then bang, bang, bang. The fight was over. Yeah. So, but she's done pretty well in the UFC outside of that. Yes, I think she lost the Ketlen Vieira fight, but I think she has enough to beat Irene Aldana. That's why I'm leaning towards her.
See, I agree. See, I see where you're coming from with that, because you're right. Like, she's lost 2 fights that aren't like to like dead fighters and that. So from that perspective, I hear it. But then the other side is, well, since she's been in the UFC, she's been knocked out twice and she hasn't finished anyone. So it's like,
MMA man, it's not math.
I'm not feeling it.
I hear you. So what, you picking Irene Aldana?
Yeah, Bunny. I'm going with Aldana, Bunny.
Okay, moving on. Heavyweight action. Greg Hardy, Tuivasa. Let me start with Myles. What are you saying?
See, this is such a... Of all the videos we've done together, I feel like this is the hardest card because there's so many fights where I'm just like, oh no, man. Like, with these 2 guys, like, let's be honest, man. Wind them up, send them in there, let them swing and see who drops. Like, I really don't know with this one. Like, I'm really interested to hear what you guys... You don't think so?
No, I think, you know what? Tuivasa he's at AKA now, isn't it? So I think... He's at AKA. So what I think he's going to do is try to do what he did in the Black Guy Ivanov fight. Although he didn't get knocked out. He lost that fight. What I didn't like is the way he was getting tagged in that fight as well, which ultimately ended up him losing. But what he did well was clinch up against the cage, whatnot, make it dirty. And that's how he fights his fights. He's got 11 wins, 10 knockouts. And I think he does the exact same thing to Greg Hardy, innit? Greg Hardy is like very athletic, very explosive, still very young in his career. But what do you do with someone like that? You stifle it. Put him up, make it a grinding fight, similar to what DC would do. If he keeps it at distance, I think Greg Hardy has more of a chance of catching him in it. Like, just by exploding in, try take him down, and then come rounds 2 and 3, and Greg Hardy's kind of gas tanks like gone down a bit.
It's terrible.
And terrible. There you go. And then go for your knockout, go for the finish.
You think Tuivasa is going to survive that first round to be able to do all that tactic stuff?
I think he does. He's at AKA, man. They would have shown him DC style. There's so many wrestlers down there, you know. They would have shown him someone that's so young in the game like Greg Hardy. Who was it? Was it Marcin Tybura? He was happy to stand with Greg Hardy. I do not recommend Tai Tuivasa do that, because the way Black Guy Ivanov of all people lit him up on the feet, and it was just hands. He caught him with that straight left so many times.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that fight. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Nah, Tuivasa, you know what?
Clinch,
wrestle first round, and then go and try and knock him out in the second and third.
Sorry, but just before you speak, bro, do you know, if I remembered that fight, I would have come out and just said straight up, I think Hardy's winning in the first round. I forgot about that fight. Now that you mentioned that, I don't think Tuivasa's surviving still.
Nonsense, man. Look, Tai Tuivasa has only lost to a certain standard, certain level of heavyweight. A level that Greg Hardy hasn't proven himself to be yet. Okay.
True.
Every single time Greg Hardy has tried to step up in level, whether it was stepping in against Volkov, whether it was which was a last-minute fight, so respect to him, but still, whether it's fighting Marcin Tybura, it's been exposed that he's just not on that level. Now, Tai Tuivasa has his last two. Well, okay, he beat that Hunsucker guy, but that was a last minute replacement. Fair play. But right before that, he beat Stefan Struve.
Oh, don't remind me of that.
But if I'm being totally honest, does Greg Hardy even have it on his record on the same level as Stefan Struve? I'd argue not really.
That Stefan Struve was a shadow of the man he used to be.
But Stefan Struve,
I can't believe it.
My point is, he beat Arlovsky as well, though. Like,
true.
Greg Hardy hasn't actually beaten anyone that is like, right. I'm pretty sure even some of the guys that Greg Hardy has beat have not all, but a lot of them have already been let go by the UFC as well, in terms of heavyweight. So trying, like he's beat. He hasn't. Yeah. So Greg Hardy has, bro. So when it comes to, I think Tai Tuivasa is a step up in my opinion, and I haven't seen anything to suggest that he's going to be able to beat him personally, but you know, it's heavyweight UFC, it's heavyweight mixed martial arts, and you know, one wrong punch, one dip when you should have, you know what I mean, and you can go to sleep. So it's not out of the realms of possibility, but I think Tai Tuivasa gets it done.
Agreed. I just think he's going to use the AKA game plan in it, where you just smother someone. He tried to do it against Blagoj Ivanov until they created space, and it didn't really work out for him. But I think he'll have more than enough. And I think he knocks out Greg Hardy. Like standing, not like Marcin Tybura taking him down and ground and pound. Actual like TKO, not knockout cold, but TKO. I think he stops him on the feet.
Yeah.
All right, now it gets exciting, yeah? Co-main event. Gilbert Burns, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Myles.
Let Puddi start on this one, man.
Go on, Puddi. Sorry, I've started on Myles all free time. My bad. Puddi, what were we saying?
This is an interesting fight. I can't lie to you. This is a very interesting fight. Obviously, you got Gilbert Burns coming off taking that L to Kamaru Usman, which was, I would say, a decent performance for Burns for the most part. He just made a couple of mistakes and he got punished very badly for his mistakes. And right now we've got Wonderboy. Wonderboy's coming off 2 wins? One against Jeff Neal and then
Vicente
Luque. I personally, I'm leaning towards Wonderboy in this fight. I think after watching Burns versus Usman, and watching how Usman was able to use that jab to take Burns apart, and I don't rate Usman as the best striker in that welterweight division, like at all.
Nope.
So exactly. So after seeing what Usman was able to do with that jab, if I was Wonderboy, I'd be watching that and I'm thinking, I've got this. Do you get what I'm saying? The only threat that I think Burns, the main threat that I think Burns has is that, as Burns is obviously a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner as well, then Burns is gonna be able to potentially use the threat of a takedown to maybe open up some of his offense on the feet. But generally, I think after watching what Usman did, I think Wonderboy is going to be able to do that, but maybe even better. That's how I feel. What do you reckon? Sorry. And another thing that I need to add on to that, I do think that Burns is a bit undersized as well in the welterweight division. I think, he is a bit undersized as well. I think that could work in Wonderboy's favor. Yeah,
I agree with you. See, personally, I'm going for Wonderboy anyway. The moment this was announced, straight Wonderboy, and for me, it's like, look, he's lost to what? Woodley, Darren Till, and Anthony Pettis. He was winning the Anthony Pettis fight until he got caught with a Showtime kind of punch, innit? Superman punch, whatever, off the cage. Darren Till fight, you can actually make.
He won that.
Exactly. I don't want to say that. You can make a bit of a case that he won that fight, innit? That he was robbed. And then you look at his UFC record. He's not lost to anyone. But since Matt Brown, like seriously lost, didn't it? He was tied up with the whole Tyron Woodley thing. But his ability to kind of stifle opponents into kind of la land, like they can't get into his range, and they cannot figure out the range, and he wins on decisions like that as well. I think personally, he stops Burns, and I hate to say this because I like both guys and I like Burns a lot. But what it is, is that Burns doesn't present what's his name, Wonderboy, with anything he hasn't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
The threat of a takedown, Tyron Woodley had the threat of a takedown. Do you know what I mean? No, that would be disrespectful. I was about to compare him to Johnny Hendricks. No, but that he doesn't present anything that Wonderboy hasn't seen. If he starts leg kicking, Wonderboy's got very good, like, to try stifle the karate, kind of the wide stance, you know what I mean, to get inside. Wonderboy will figure that out. He's seen that before. Threat of a takedown, Wonderboy can defend, so I don't think he goes to the ground. And I don't think he'll stop him, my bad. I think he'll be a decision for Wonderboy, innit? He'll just pick him apart from the outside all fight. Although he does have a bad habit sometimes of getting caught at the end of punches because he gets a bit complacent, but I don't see Gilbert Burns doing anything to get inside that range to beat Wonderboy. Myles, you look like you disagree.
No, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. I do not like Wonderboy. You know this.
Wait, Caitlin Chikagian. I know it is Michelle Waterson, Caitlin Chikagian. I figured it out already.
I do not like Wonderboy one bit.
Myles hates his point strikers.
This geezer is a sparring match specialist. Like if I as a novice, as a guy who has very limited MMA experience, if I wanted to go in and like have a sparring session with an MMA fighter, I'm picking Wonderboy because I know he's just gonna tap me. It'll be all right. Like I'll leave with my senses. I'll leave with my senses and my teeth, innit? Whereas, like, you know, some other fighters, I wouldn't want to go in a sparring match because, like, for example, I've heard stuff about Conor in sparring. I'm like, nah. But this guy, I'll be all right, bro. You know what it is, yeah? I think he got my hopes up so much. Like, if you look at his record, I've got it up here. Bro, back in the day, fam, this guy knocked out Whittaker. He knocked out Hendricks, knocked out Ellenberger. Like, he was on this crazy knockout thing. And then now
Jake Ellenberger one.
Bro,
you're gonna do the spin shit, and he done the spinning tick, and he knocked him out with it.
Mad.
Go on, sorry, continue.
And now I watch his fights, and I'm just like, oh man, like the Jeff Neal one, like the Darren Till fight, like even the Masvidal. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's not. If I paid tickets to go and watch this guy, I would be livid, bro. I would be livid because it's just like I get it. It's cool technique and all that type of stuff, but I just not seen the killer instinct I expect from a fighter. Now, in terms of how the fight will go, yeah, okay, there's a 90% chance that he's just going to Wonderboy Burns, yeah? But if you think about it, yeah, the times when Wonderboy has struggled is when people say, do you know what, bun it, and they just do a wild thing at him, like what Anthony Pettis done. Do you know what, I'm losing? Boom. Tyron Woodley, do you know what? Let me just run at him. Boom. Like, and let's be honest, Burns has that in him. Burns has a little bit of a wow, do you know what? Let me just swing crazy at you. So I wouldn't totally count Burns out. Do I think he's the favorite? No. I feel like the height and the size and the stupidness of Wonderboy will probably get him through. But I'm hoping that Burns can just throw one of those wild punches and catch him. Because we saw what happened the last time a former lightweight hit him on the chin, innit? So I'm hoping that Burns can do the same.
So you're picking Burns just out of hope because you want to see Wonderboy lose, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice guy though.
No, I was just gonna say that's why when I wanted to. That's why I didn't want to at first say that Burns is undersized because obviously a former lightweight was the last person to put Wonderboy to sleep. But yeah.
We'll see how that one plays out, man. I think it's just again, it's like anyone else. It's a matter of getting inside. It's just a matter of getting inside. And if he goes to the ground, I think he can submit Wonderboy. Like if he's got like 2-3 minutes left and it magically hits the ground, you know, slip or something. It'll work in his Gilbert Burns' favor. But again, if I was Burns, why are you taking a Wonderboy fight, man?
That's what I was gonna say.
Why take the Wonderboy fight? There's plenty of options actually at welterweight that he could have taken, even lower ranked. It wouldn't have mattered, to be honest. He could have taken mine's gone blank, but never mind. But he could have taken an easier fight, like one that you know what. If he loses this one, it's like. But then are the UFC going to give Wonderboy a title shot? No. Do you know what I mean?
And why is that? Why do you reckon they won't?
Potentially, I think they will.
Exactly what you just said, man.
See?
Then they won't, because you got Leon Edwards there and you still got Colby Covington.
But I think potentially they might give him a Wonderboy fight just because Wonderboy is the only guy that he hasn't actually fought yet in that top five.
This is the problem. Yeah. This is exactly the problem. Wonderboy needs to go. He needs to go, bro. He just needs to go. Shall I tell you why? because he's got the ability to beat anyone. He does, but he's gonna beat you in a way that's gonna put a loss on your record for no reason. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, he could beat Usman. He could probably beat flipping what's Leon Edwards. He can do all of these things by putting a loss on their record, by not actually beating them, by doing just enough to get a win on his record and a loss on someone. It's not good for business, bro. This guy will put a loss on people's records for no reason.
I think he's one of them purists, like striking specialists would appreciate like the feints and all of that. But if you're a fan, you want to see that bit extra. Like what Gilbert Burns does with his striking, like what they have that extra pop. Colby Covington does the same thing, but he just does it in a different way, in wrestling ways, isn't it? But he's putting damage on you. Your face is going to be mashed up, you know, and it's just it's not a loss for the sake of a loss. But anyway, main event. Myles, I'm starting with you on this one, yeah? I know you're good for this one. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier. What are we saying?
So here's the thing, yeah? This is another one which is so hard to predict, because I remember when they fought the first time, I predicted Dustin Poirier was going to beat him. I got it wrong. The second time they fought, I predicted Conor McGregor was going to win, and I got it wrong. So I will be a fool to tell anybody out there that I know who's going to win, because the twice that I've tried it before, I flopped. Now, one thing I would say, about Conor McGregor, which is quite interesting, if you think about when he lost to Nate, like he was making fun of Nate leading up to that fight. And then at the end of that fight, before they had the rematch, if you notice, Conor started to eat whole foods and started to like get on this proper healthy diet thing, eating all of this stuff, He starts doing all of this bike riding and cycle McGregor fit stuff. He brings in Dylan Dennis and starts doing all this jiu-jitsu stuff. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you got that all from Nate, like, who just beat you. So I'm like, right, that's interesting. And then obviously he loses to Mayweather, and then he starts getting into this proper boxing stance thing. I'm like, he's one of these guys that will, you know, and it's a compliment to the guy, you know, he will lose to a guy and then realize, all right, maybe you're better than me in certain elements. Let me take that on board. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see super calf kick Conor in this fight, man. It's going to be 100%. An interesting one. He thinks as well, Puddi.
I don't know if you watched Dustin Poirier's recent interview with Brett Okamoto on ESPN. I downloaded the MP3 version. I was just listening to it yesterday. He said the exact same thing. He said, I won't be surprised. Maybe I'm not planning to throw leg kicks. I know Conor's planning to throw them. Like, I would not be surprised if he decides to return the favor. Poirier's not done.
I don't like Poirier.
I'm working on checking calf kicks now. I was like, bro, he's got it figured out. But do go on, Puddi, Myles. Who was it? Puddi, you want to say something? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying I don't like Poirier interviews. He doesn't. I don't think he interviews very well.
Oh really?
Every time man, I don't like his interviews. Like, okay, half the time, he complains a lot in his interviews, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, man, he complains a lot.
Much complaining.
A
little bit on money, but not really.
No, he complains. He complains basically about how this fight game has turned into social media and media, and like he even said to Beto Komoto, he said like, even you don't even matter. But he's like, no,
swear, no way.
He's like, but let's be now, because he was talking about the chaos surrounding the Conor fight. You got these questions, and it's like media. Not that you don't matter anyway. It's like, no offense. I was like, but like, respectfully.
What I hate. But do you know what? It's not just that. Okay, let me circle back. It's not that I don't like Dustin Poirier. It's I don't like how Dustin Poirier interviews within this world that we've created, where Dustin Poirier, he fights for his family and his wife and his daughter and for charity. Whereas Conor McGregor, he's only in it for the money. He's only in it for. It's like, bruv, where did we get this idea that Conor McGregor isn't doing it for his family too?
Yeah, I hear that.
It annoys me that people act like Conor McGregor didn't come up the same way, and like Dustin Poirier isn't taking the money fight today rather than fighting for the title. Like, literally, they said in the countdown, I can't say word for word, I can't remember, but something like Conor McGregor, who fights for the fame and the fortune and the money and the yada yada, compared to Dustin Poirier, and I'm just like,
did they say that?
Irritating. That's not verbatim. So if you watch countdown, use it. But it's like they keep trying to paint this narrative sort of thing, and it's odd to me. So I think it's that combined with them watching Dustin Poirier interview and the ways they ask Dustin Poirier questions and they talk to him. Yes, man. it's a bit annoying to me sometimes. But sorry, Myles, you were still even predicting.
No, it's calm. Like, yeah, I was just gonna say, in terms of how the first fight went, it's weird because, you know, MMA fans have short memories. And I distinctly remember watching that fight and thinking in that first round, Dustin don't look too great. Like, bro, you hear me? Bro, I was thinking raw. And I went back and I watched a bit of my reactions when I was watching the fights. I live streamed it. And I was saying throughout that fight, Conor is actually looking very good. Like, everybody's out here saying Conor needs to go back to this karate stance. He didn't do good. Bro, he was looking very good. Poirier was getting tagged. Like, tagged.
You're getting me hacked.
Bro, not only was he getting tagged, but he was getting tagged in a weird way. Like, I thought he was throwing the fight, bro. Like, he was literally just letting himself get punched. He wasn't blocking properly. It was weird. But
it was shelling
up. Yeah, but I guess it was genius because he came back and done his thing. And obviously those leg kicks did add up. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes now that Conor's obviously knows about the leg kicks, you know, what's going to happen there. I also find it very interesting, the whole thing about Conor saying the first one to shoot a takedown is a yada, yada, yada. So it'll be interesting to see how does that affect Dustin. Does Dustin still
Poirier
go
said
for
the
takedowns?
same thing. Poirier went, all right,
because
he spun it back. He's like, it's about martial arts, isn't it? You said this. You're like, it's all about the pure form of martial arts. So first one to get taken down is a...
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. And
I like Poirier's mindset at the moment. I really do. Like, listening to him talk, I like his mindset. It's not the same as it was in the first fight or even the second fight. I like his mindset.
I hear that. The last thing I wanted to say was that another thing that I got wrong was the night before the fight, when they had the weigh-in last time. I remember I was playing FIFA Pro Clubs, and I was telling my guys, I was like, I don't like Dustin Poirier's energy here, because at the weigh-ins, they've done a weird thing where Conor was standing up tall and then Dustin was standing tall, and then Conor went low and then Dustin went low. I was like, why is he copying anything that flipping Conor, that he's like matching his energy? So I didn't really like that, but it seemed to work. But now, obviously, Conor's coming back on his old flex, talking. He's got that little bit of an edgy vibe back. So I don't know. I think that's another factor. Can Dustin deal with the not so friendly Conor? So I don't know.
He said he don't care, man. He was like,
everybody says that.
And you believe that? And you believe that?
No, I don't believe it.
Because
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that at all. I do not believe that at all. Dustin
Poirier, what we say for the fight?
Okay, let's do this.
Hey, time out. Sorry. Myles, you didn't give your pick.
I tried to sneak
away. Run away from that. No, you're not doing that. Who are you thinking?
I tried. Oh, I'm going to go with Conor.
Let's go.
I don't necessarily want Conor to win, but I'm going to go with Conor. It's a 50-50 though. I could change tomorrow, but right now, I'm going Conor.
Puddi?
Okay, so I will make this very clear. I am picking Conor McGregor to come back and defeat Dustin Poirier. Potentially. Okay, cool. Let me do this. I've been trying to think of how to word this properly, yeah? I'm not sure if someone said this before, but I genuinely, and this is going to sound like a mad hot take, yeah? I genuinely believe that Conor McGregor is arguably one of the most underrated fighters in the fight game. And it sounds crazy, because it sounds crazy to say, but I don't think Conor McGregor gets the props that he should get at this point, gets the props that he should get. And it's partially back to what you said, Myles, in terms of MMA fans having short memories. This is, for me, it is mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling, yeah, that the way people spoke about how McGregor performed in the last fight. Just like you said, McGregor was doing work. Yeah, McGregor lost, but McGregor was doing work.
He was.
Cool. Dustin Poirier is the #1 lightweight fighter in the world. People are acting like McGregor just got knocked out by Artem Lobov. Like, he lost to Dustin Poirier. So all of these shouts about, he's done after this, he's this, that, blah, blah, can he come back? Nonsense. I feel like people didn't even watch the first half of the first fight. They only watched like the last bit, because I don't understand what everyone was saying. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing. If he had literally just put his foot on the gas at the points where he was hurting Poirier, I think he would have got Poirier out of there. Poirier said it in the post-fight interview. He said, yo, he hurt me. He said he hurt me, he stung me, he buzzed me, whichever word he used. Poirier admitted it himself. He said that he could have got him out of there. So, yeah, okay, cool. Putting that to the side. Next, Conor McGregor is battle-tested. He has gone to the trenches. People forget that Conor McGregor went to the trenches with Chad Mendes. People forget that Conor McGregor came back in that Nate Diaz rematch, yeah? Came back in that Nate Diaz rematch, almost got stopped in the third round, yeah? Got a second win and ended up winning that fight on unanimous decision. Cool, fair enough. Or was it split decision? Whichever one, you won it on points, regardless, yeah? Cool, fair enough. You might say that McGregor has all of this money and has all of this, so you know what's making him wake up to fight. But I believe that makes Conor McGregor a more dangerous man. The fact that he doesn't have to do this. But do you know why he's doing this? Because Conor McGregor, one, he believes in his legacy, and two, Conor McGregor has an inflated level of ego to the point where he is working like a madman to come back and get this back. Yeah, everyone's saying he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do this. He's so rich now, he doesn't have to do this. That's the scariest guy. That's
you definitely sound like Dana White right now. I can't lie to you.
But it's true though. That's the scariest guy. You know, back in school times, there was always like a guy who just always wanted to fight. Like always, he just always wants to fight. Like just like fam, Conor McGregor coming back with nothing to lose, I believe, is a scary guy. Conor McGregor. One thing I will say about McGregor, which I do find very weird, and very strange, is how he keeps talking about those calf kicks and saying how, you know, oh, that was a nifty little trick. I've never seen those before. Never bother. Conor McGregor was landing those on Nate Diaz in the rematch. Like Conor McGregor,
no, they weren't calf kicks. They were more like higher up thigh. They weren't really calf kicks. If they were calf kicks, you would have seen the same damage like Leon Edwards did to Nate.
Well, on Nate, but come on, this is like how many fights? This is a few fights ago. Nate's taking a bit more damage, but regardless, yeah. I do think that Conor McGregor, the combination of the fact that he has nothing to lose and of the fact that he does have an inflated ego, it is going to fuel him to come back better. I do think that the adjustments that are potentially needed for him to be able to win this fight isn't as much of a huge gap that people think he has to fill. I think when I, just to quickly round this up, when I was talking about Conor McGregor being the most underrated, I just mean in terms of what Conor McGregor has managed to achieve, I don't think him coming back and beating Poirier in this rematch would be the biggest achievement of his career. No, I don't think it would be the most. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think it would be the. It's not even the maddest thing he's done. Between what he's done to Jose Aldo, between how he was in that Eddie Alvarez fight, between the rematch with Nate Diaz, between all of these different things that he's done, I can't lie to you. I don't think it's so outlandish to think that Conor McGregor, who was already winning the fight the first time around, is going to come back, having made some adjustments, and then defeat Dustin Poirier. And I also do not believe this whole Dustin Poirier saying that, you know, the trash talk don't get to him no more, blah, blah, blah. Because when the charity thing happened, Dustin Poirier, he showed how emotional he gets. He showed it there. And that says it all. The amount of time that Dustin Poirier keeps talking about, just going back to what I said before with the whole media thing and, you know, you guys don't matter and all of these sort of things, that all comes across emotional to me. Emotional to me. So, yeah, I do think that McGregor's going to get under his skin.
Can I throw a span in the works? Go on, Myles, sorry.
No, go on, Jesus.
Dustin Poirier is 3-0 in rematches.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, he's not lost a rematch. And also, this, see what you're saying about what makes a fighter wake up. You could apply the same thing to Floyd, didn't it? Because Floyd got to a point where he was making all this money and he's still taking these fights. Like, why? No need. I think it does make you a dangerous fighter personally, but at the same time, you know what? I think it's a tricky one. I want Conor to win for some funny reason, yeah. But at the same time, I don't.
I know why you want him to win. Let's be honest.
Go on, why?
You want Khabib to come back.
No, I want Islam to handle him, innit? I want Islam.
I
want Islam to get his hands on him.
You want Islam to get knocked out.
But yeah, if Dustin Poirier beats him, you know what? Maybe he might have to take an Islam Makhachev fight. So either way, man, I'm waiting for one of the Russians to get their hands on him again. Can't wait for that. But yeah, now with the calf kicks, yeah, I don't think we'll see as many calf kicks as we did in the first fight. And like Myles, you said, yeah, he looked good until he didn't. And personally, I want him to go back to that karate kind of stance, innit? That walking forward, so he won't get hit with those calf kicks because he can just slide right back out. He's not heavy on that front foot like he was. You know, he was hitting Poirier with the shoulder strikes. He was tagging him on the feet. until Poirier's like the calf kicks kind of added up, and there was a right hook, or was it a left? I think it was a right hook that Poirier hit him with right before like they kind of turned and Conor was on the cage. That's what really stung him. And Poirier got the job done. But a part of me, like, I seriously see Poirier winning. Now, I don't want to say Conor's time's done. I don't, because Conor's one of them ones that, you know what, when all the chips are against him kind of thing, that's when he rises to the occasion. And again, you talk about Poirier being emotional and whatnot. That crowd in Vegas in, 7-8 days time, is going to be 90% Conor McGregor.
But
you know, that Fight Island crowd is, Poirier said there was Irish fans there. The level of noise that was in Fight Island is not going to be the same as what it was in Vegas, because Americans also have a tendency to copy. So you have a lot of the Irish people coming from like New York, Boston, wherever they are. Once those Olés start ringing from like one side of the arena, the whole thing's going to catch on, because it's going to be a vibe, innit? I don't know how Poirier is going to deal with that. That's what's making me lean towards McGregor. But into Poirier, I think Poirier, he knows that McGregor might return with calf kicks. So I think he might try.
He's bad, bro. Poirier is bad at defending leg kicks. He's probably worse than McGregor.
You saw the Justin Gaethje fight, yeah?
He's bad, bro. That, and even again, I think, what's his name landed a few on him? Eddie Alvarez.
He's
yes. Bad at defending leg kicks, bro.
But he said he's working on it. So he's like, I'm expecting Conor to come with him. So I've been working on checking them. And you know, Matt Brown, you know, once he's got you drilling, doing certain things. But again, what I like about that as well, it's for Conor, he might look at it as like, you know, I'll throw some calf kicks, but there'll be feints. And that will just be used to set up the left leg, the left hand, or the left high kick. Like what McGregor used to do in the past is he will throw the high kicks, but they're just like, Dan Hardy did a brilliant breakdown on McGregor's, like the way he gets his opponents to move how he wants, fake the calf kicks, but use his kicks to kind of move you a certain way to set up the left hand. Do you know what I mean? So it's funny how we might work out either way. Like now, and also with the Twitter trash talk about takedowns and stuff, does Dustin Poirier shoot just to show him this is martial arts? You know, I don't give a shit what you say. I'm taking you down. Or is that set up? I believe
Dustin Poirier dances to the beat of Conor McGregor's drum. I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe, like, this gonna sound so rude to say, and I'm not. I don't even mean it rudely. I believe the way Dustin Poirier talks about McGregor, Dustin Poirier looks up to McGregor. I swear to you, not just in fighting, but also in business and in all of the things that McGregor has achieved. Dustin Poirier looks up to him. It goes back to what you're saying about at the weigh-ins, when McGregor moves, Poirier moves. Like all the time, like, even because, bro, Dustin Poirier has just been saying how great Conor McGregor is. Genuinely legit. Throughout all the interviews, he's been saying how great of a fighter he is, how he's achieved this and that and whatnot. And every single thing that McGregor has done, Dustin Poirier is a step behind in terms of, as in, like, trying to get his own source going on, his source going, I believe Dustin Poirier looks up to McGregor. And I believe that because of the respect, and this is me reaching heavy here, I believe because of the respect that Poirier has for McGregor as a fighter and a striker, I think Poirier wants to get it done with the hands for that reason. I don't think I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that Poirier probably wouldn't enjoy it as much choking McGregor out. I believe he wants to get it done with the hands.
You know what? I just think he's got a very good coach in Matt Brown who might just say take him down. But you know what? Again, you know, now we're seeing with the Twitter trash talk and the interviews, and the fact that fans are going to be in full attendance, I think we're going to find out a lot at the press conference midweek.
Yeah,
so I think
I can't wait.
Wednesday or Thursday, probably Thursday.
Hey.
We're going to see. I think Wednesday, just so the fighters are not too drained in it, because they got Friday early morning. I think we're going to see a lot in that press conference. Should I tell you why? Because Conor, with a full crowd as well, and the crowd getting onto you, can easily get in your head. Easily. And Conor likes to play up to a crowd too. He sees what the crowd bites on, and then, you know, he'll ramp it up. I'll guarantee you the charity stuff gets brought up. I know Poirier apologized, but Conor, you know what? He's in a corner at the moment, isn't it? He's coming off a loss. I guarantee you he brings up the charity stuff. And that's something very dear to Poirier. Get in his head, innit? Who else? What's this? You got the charity stuff, the takedown stuff, like what you're gonna just sniff my crotch the whole time. He's gonna bring that stuff up, and I think if he does that and Poirier decides to surprise him, which I don't think he'll be surprised with anymore in terms of like takedowns, he might set him up the way he almost like this close to getting Khabib with that knee when Khabib shot.
Yeah,
I'm glad you noticed that.
I've said that this to a lot close, of people, isn't it? He just grazed him. Bro, I think Poirier might walk into one, like trying to take down. Because Conor used to expect it with Chad Mendez's and whatnot coming for those takedowns, Eddie Alvarez, and he had the perfect game plan to keep you on your feet and keep you upright. And I'm currently 70-30 McGregor, yeah? The press conference is going to tell me a lot, whether I go all the way 100% to Conor or if I go 50-50.
And at that press conference as well, don't forget McGregor has the main thing that he can say to Dustin Poirier. I made you. I'm giving you the best payday of your life. Poirier said in an interview himself, he said he got offered so-and-so amount to fight for the title and so-and-so amount plus pay-per-view to fight McGregor. McGregor is literally saying to Poirier, I made you the most money you're ever going to make. Red Panty Night is still real. And on top of that, I'm giving, which I'm making this off my head, but I was offering possibly the largest donation that your charity has gotten. I don't know, 500.
But he took that back. I don't know. That back.
Yeah, no, he took it back.
That's what I said. The charity stuff is going to get in his head. He's like, what? You can't even show what you're spending the money on. And then Poirier apologized. I can't remember the details of it, but boy, it's going to get hot.
I got a question though.
Go on.
See, one of the, you know, when I said like, I don't necessarily want Conor to win, yeah? Do you know what it is? Bro, every time Conor loses, yeah, he managed to finesse everybody into putting an asterisk next to it. You know, with the Khabib thing, my foot was a balloon in there. Or he was taking me down. And I managed to win a round. You know, with the Nate thing, he's over 200 pounds, 6 foot tall. And with this one, he surprised me with the calf kicks. What about the bangs to the face, fam? Yes. What about the bangs, bro?
Agreed.
You keep talking about these leg kicks. What about the bangs to the face? It was
He's good at spinning
the second round. You're against the cage, getting banged, fam. Stop talking about calf kicks and takedowns. What about the hands, cuz?
That was a KO as well, not TKO. That was a KO.
He was like this, looking all sorts of places, fam. What about the bangs to the face? I'm sick of the asterisks. That's why I slightly want Poirier to win, even though I don't think he is, just to get rid of the asterisk. What are you talking about? You surprised me with calf kicks. How can you be surprised? It's MMA. Fam, that excuse is so annoying. Everybody talking about calf kicks. It wasn't just calf kicks. It was also the fact that your left hand is not that powerful anymore. So sorry, bro. The fact that Poirier was taking it like it was nothing. The fact that my man was, there was leg kicks. The fact that he also got you a little bit tired with the wrestling. Conor always had problem with condition. That as well, bro. There was several things. And I'm just so annoyed at the fact that people are saying, calf kicks. You just got beaten. It's simple.
You know what I like about what you said? The left hand, the left hand not being as powerful. I think it's that heavy on the lead leg kind of boxer kind of thing. Because when he used to do karate in and out kind of thing, like, you know, karate strikers, it's literally they're trained to like that, very close, bang, and you are asleep. He used to come in with that kind of movement in it. It's like it's that blitz, like Leo Machida, in bang. But with this boxing, it's like he's there so flat-footed, throwing like, you know, and Poirier has time to see it as well. He can easily like do what he was doing. He might get buzzed, but it won't be enough to knock him out. But if he goes back to that karate and like throws that left hand from that kind of approach in it, like that blitz, I guarantee you Poirier goes sleep. But I'm picking McGregor, but I don't know what. Like, I'm not like you, Myles.
Tomorrow, I forgot my question. I forgot my question.
Go on.
The question actually was, doesn't that annoy you?
It does. That's why I'm glad you said it. Because I've seen it on Twitter all week as well. I was like, yes, that's so true.
It doesn't. You got to understand. I'm a McGregor fan. I'm a McGregor fan. It is what it is. I'm a McGregor fan. But I'm also a Dustin Poirier fan. And brother, I love Dustin Poirier as a fighter a lot. I do think at their peaks, I think McGregor is the better fighter. I think we're gonna find out on Saturday how close to his peak McGregor still is. And I also think, and this once again may be controversial, we're gonna find out how close to his peak Dustin Poirier is as well, because Dustin Poirier has been doing this thing for a very long time as well. Yep. And I think because I genuinely believe with the amount of fights that Poirier has had and what that's taken out of him, a loss to McGregor could be the start of his potential decline as well. And that's not me saying that, oh, I see Poirier declining at the moment. But going back to what you're saying, Myles, about how Poirier was performing in that first round, if he does end up getting beat in again, not again. So if he ends up getting beat, looking how he looked in that first round and so on, boy, that could be the start of something different. It's lightweight right now. Lightweight is in transition. I think all of the top guys. I do believe all the top guys are going to eventually, over the next year and a half, will all start losing and declining. Ferguson's out of there already. He's come on. He's done now.
You know who they're keeping the belt warm for, don't you?
No, here we go. Let's not do
this again. Okay. Why did you up? Why did both you up?
But they're all on their way out. I think Gaethje's on his way to decline too. Every time I hear him talk, I just hear punch drunk. I can't lie to you, bro. Have you heard Gaethje talk? He sounds he sounds like the decline is on its way.
So who do you think? Wait, quick one, just to round this one up there. Who do you think comes out on top of that hill in a year and a half?
That's a tough question.
Just say McGregor and done, bro.
I think McGregor can be champion by the end of this year. But I was thinking about this yesterday. I think if McGregor wins the title, he'll retire champion. He's never defended the belt. So if he wins the title, I believe he'll hold that title in the octagon, and then he'll lay it down and go.
I'm done. Yeah, do you think
he's never
this last run is just to get to that belt, and that's it? Say, I did it. You know, it weren't a fluke. You weren't. You know, I can still do it. I made the money. I'm out. Kind of thing. So I think unanimously, all three of us have gone for McGregor. Damn. Okay. I would have thought
went for
at least
Poirier, bro. What's going on?
Did
here?
I?
You said
no.
Yeah.
I said I was 70-30.
You went for McGregor.
I went McGregor. I said 70-30.
You sounded like you was going for Poirier.
No. That press conference is going to tell me a lot if I go 100%. I said I might wake up tomorrow and say Poirier because I'm seeing so many scenarios play out in my head. But a part of me, I envisioned McGregor going back to that karate kind of back in the day, pressure, hands down. Do you know what I mean? Not getting tied up in the clinch and landing on Poirier. But again, I can see the same. I can see Poirier, you know, pressuring McGregor, take down in the first round again, work in the clinch, and then finish him in the second or third. I don't think it goes past the third round either way. But anyway, prelims. Yeah, guys, which fight excites you guys the most on the prelims? I'm going to say Ilia Topuria, Ryan Hall, yeah? Simply because I like Ilia Topuria. I'm butchering his name, man. Yeah. Never mind. I liked his fight against Damon Jackson, Yusuf Zalal. But I like Ilia Topuria. He's like 12 years younger than Ryan Hall. If he can avoid the leg locks and the jiu-jitsu, I think he pieces him up on the feet. And I know Ryan Hall's only lost one fight in his MMA career, and he's like on a 7-fight win streak. You know, he's undefeated since I think it's his first fight. But I think Ilia Topuria wins this one. Go on, you guys pick who you honourable shout out.
Wait, hold on.
Unless you agree or disagree with me. Go on.
So you've gone with him to beat Ryan Hall, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a bold pick, man. That's very bold.
I know, but I like Ilia
respect it, man.
I like what I've seen from him.
I respect it. Go on, Puddi.
Well, the fight that I'm looking forward to, I feel like everyone knows what fight it is. It's Nico Price versus Michel Pereira. Okay, so this is actually a very interesting fight. I feel like this fight has more layers than what people are probably looking at it as. Because people are looking at it as, this is just going to be all out action, madness, you know, they're just going to rip each other's head off. But when you watch, so after Michel Pereira made his debut where he was dancing and doing all sorts of madness, and doing backflips in the octagon and stuff, then he ended up in that fight, one of our favorite fights against Tristan Boondock Connolly, who came in on last minute, let Michel Pereira gas himself out, and then he was able to beat him. Cool. When we then saw, after Michel Pereira was able to get some wins under his belt, he was put up against Chaos Williams, yeah? And that fight was supposed to be just all out violence. This guy who does all of this madness versus Chaos Williams, one punch KO. Pereira kept it very calm. He kept it very calm. He preserved his cardio, moved around and done his thing, and he ended up picking up the decision win. And I think if Pereira is smart, he's gonna try and take the same type of approach to this fight in terms of just preserving his cardio, not doing too much of the madness, just keeping it calm and fighting Nico Price in a similar way. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Nico Price has 0 decisions in the UFC. The one decision he had was with Cowboy Cerrone, but it got overturned because he was smoking weed like Sha'Carri Richardson. So therefore, it goes back to a no contest. So therefore, Nico Price has 0 decisions in the UFC. Okay, so this is a guy that if anyone was going to draw the madness out of Michel Pereira, it's going to be Nico Price. And Nico Price is such an unorthodox fighter. I think he has the most wins by up kicks, I swear. Of wins by up kicks or some madness like that anyway. But yeah, he can knock you out from anywhere. He could do so much 100%. Madness that it is very interesting to see. For me, is Michel Pereira going to get drawn out of his newfound calm demeanor and revert back to the madman that he was? Or is he going to keep it calm and fight his way to another points decision? But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good breakdown because, like you said, like Nico Price is a wild man as well. So it's weird because these are two really, but they're wild in different ways. So it's going to be interesting to see if Pereira does come out wild or if he does do what he done in the Chaos Williams fight. So yeah, that's a good breakdown. My only thing I'm going to say is if Jessica Ai loses this fight against Jennifer Maia, can we finally get rid of her, please? Can we please finally get rid of Jessica Ai if she loses this fight? This will be another 3-fight losing streak. Bro, if she loses this one,
she might have enough. Just like keep it on points decision.
Bro, she needs to go, fam.
But I think she gets taken down and dominated by Jennifer Maia. Personally, I'm picking Jennifer Maia in that one. But I think we're all in agreement. Michel Pereira versus Nico Price's fight of the night.
Potentially, but that's what I'm saying. Potentially, Michel Pereira just makes it nice and boring and keeps it that way.
Yeah,
because a win for Michel Pereira will have him on the cusp of a ranking at welterweight. On the cusp, a win over Nico Price, you'll be right there. You know what I mean? It's interesting. It's interesting.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on. Obviously, both guys' links will be in the description. Go ahead and subscribe to their channels. Follow them on Instagram as well. Myles from Fight Night Chat, his link will be in the description. Puddi from MMA Casual Core. Go and subscribe. We're doing hot takes this week, aren't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for jumping on UFC 264 predictions. We are out.